Hello, beautiful souls. It has been a hot minute. There's a reason, and I'm gonna get to that, but how are you? How are you feeling? How are you doing? How are things moving after that super intense Scorpio lunar eclipse? And I laugh because it was a wild Mercury retrograde, am I right? The shit that went wrong every single day, at one point I just actually started laughing at it because why not? Like, if we're not in joy and levity and fluidity with, the intensity of the energies that come in, then we move into resistance, and then we magnetize that resistance and lower frequency to us so that we stay stuck in that blockage and stagnation. And so just realizing that the energy will shift, it will move, it will come around eventually, and to just not take life so dang seriously feels really good. Now, granted, sometimes we do stay in those shadow periods or those soul growth periods for longer because that's, we're working through deeper layers of karma and wounding. And that's why we are here together as a soul family. That's why there are light warriors out there for you to connect with and exchange with and lean on when you're in the depths of the work and you aren't able to find the light at that time, and you're just not even supposed to, because we've got to go through the journey, the unfolding journey as humans, the trauma process, the transformation, in order to get to the light. And so, if you get to be that for someone at some point when you are in your expansive periods, and they get to be that for you when you're in the deeper depths of the intensity and work. And if I'm that for you, I am so stoked and grateful, and I'm so happy that you're here. So if you're new here, welcome. I'm Lori Rising, an intuitive medium, a trauma-informed healing artist, an embodiment, ritual, and ascension guide. I've got the podcast, The Raw and Wild Hearts, and I'm just so happy you're here. So hit that subscribe button, the like button, the notification bell, all the things, but really share with us in the comments. Share with us what's resonating for you here and what you are getting out of this exchange, because I would love to feel that energy together as we elevate this frequency and this evolution in the new Earth awakening. Okay, so we are here to talk about the Sagittarius Supermoon. It's coming this Tuesday morning, and honestly, it feels just pretty on par with where we're at. When we have those hard energies, like the lower fluctuation energies, in order to unearth and excavate the depth of what's hidden in ourselves personally, and definitely in the collective. We are so in that right now, especially with this eclipse axis. We get the lighter energies afterwards so that we can take a breather and make some integration. But really, this Sagittarius Supermoon, I see as like the centaur with their arrow pointed. I see that arrow pointing directly at you. Summer solstice galactic portal activation. It's a big one, and it's a huge galactic upgrade. If you're doing your work, if you're in your alignment and in your ascension, you are going to experience amazing quantum shifts. And that is what we just went through in the Awakening Astrology Retreat last week. That is why it's been a hot minute. Our favorite intuitive astrologer, Molly McCord, and I co-hosted the most profound and exquisite space that hundreds of you, beautiful souls, came to cultivate a sacred container that was timeless. It was profound. It was quantum. Like, the transformation and joy and release that happened with all of us together, there are really no words for it. And Molly and I were talking about it. It was all of you that came and really created the collective that we that we engaged with held energy in a way that Molly and I just channeled everything that came through the whole weekend. Like, we didn't have to look at our notes, we didn't have to prepare. It was so easeful and so enlightened. I mean, I'm still coming back into the physical reality, because after something so quick and profound like that, in the way that we're able to shift now, especially together, in our sovereignty together, we've got to have some time when we drop back into the matrix and narrative that's around us, right? Even when we drop back into time and constructs of, like, we have deadlines and we've got business to attend to and take care of, and we've got relationships to come back and bring our new evolved self into. So there's an integration even with that, with our communities. So this week I feel that we're definitely all in it. And that's why it's been a little bit since I've been on. And I hope you felt that universe shake, because we definitely created a quantum boom, is what I want to say. So with this Sagittarius full moon, one of the other themes that I feel like is really big, and this came up in the retreat experience, is that the energy of Sagittarius really wants you to be the sage, right? Like, wants you to own your medicine in a way that you never have before. And that's almost like the higher consciousness learning. And that is where your medicine, what you came to share, your gifts, your healing that you came to share with the world, is going to be activated. So we've really done a disservice with our institutional based systems, right? They've created narratives for us that everything is already known, which, when I drop into that at this point, I'm like, wow, that's pretty wild and arrogant of a culture to, say you come to school and you learn all of this and then you are an expert and you know it all. And now you have a degree to show that, right? And that I feel like when we accepted that narrative, especially as children, when we get placed into this linear-based school system and these institutions of, like, you're in a box of learning and you're learning from the books because history has already been made, then we lose the magic and the belief that we are creating history and that there's so much more available. There's so many more possibilities. Like, we don't know what we haven't experienced, but we were led to believe that we've already experienced everything. Does that make sense? What I want to say about this is, last night my guide sent me outside at like 11 p.m. I was gonna go to bed, and last minute I followed the impulse. So I am here. If you don't know how to hear those messages or how to decipher them or how to follow the impulse easily, I have so many options for you and so many ways for us to experience that together. And I have ways of guidance into that for you, so it becomes normalized in your life. Anywho, went outside. My mom had left water on because I'm visiting my parents right now in my hometown, where my spirituality really came into being as I was a kiddo in a hard environment, in this matrix world, right? Coming in star-bred. And the water would have went all night. Could have created some serious structural damage to the house. And my guides were like, go out. And there it was. We turned it off. Anyway, moving on. Laid under the stars, again, witnessed and experienced beautiful celestial phenomena that I never would have before. And at this point in my multidimensionality, this is becoming normalized, where I see time ripples, I see portals, I see light flashes, light flares, I see night movements and creatures going around in the sky. Like, it's so beautiful, it's so magical. And this is the history that we're creating. This is ways for us to see in a way that we've never seen before, because our soul is coming online, because we are now in a deep presence in our alignment, that we have a new language, the language that we came in with as human beings before we got taught the linear word language that really became so dominant in our energy. Now, as we come online more and more into our own celestial body and star connection and nature being, it all is like revealing to us. It's like the more that we unlearn, the more we learn in the new earth school. And my hope is that as adults, we continue to foster this environment for our kids in their creation energy and in their imagination. And this is just as, if not more important, for learning, because this is how we magnetize and manifest in joy and ease. And this is how we change a reality around us in quantum ways, instead of the slow paths that we had created in those systems of like time and voting and all of that unhealthy ego, chaos, drama, fear, like I don't even want to go into it. So anyway, those are my stories, and I'm telling you, I'm otherworldly from that Awakening Astrology retreat, and I cannot wait for the retreats to come. Yes, I said it, the retreats to come. And let's see what the cards have to say. I'm pulling a clarifier card, and this is amazing. So this card came up in the retreat, and this is like the Sagittarius energy I was just talking about, and I went off on a tangent about. You are the sage sharing your medicine, and the more that you move into the higher consciousness school, the school of like experiential learning, as you experience the world, as you create history in your every now moment, and that becomes your past of alignment instead of your past of trauma and wounds. Your inner healer, what you came here to share, is going to, if you're at the tree, I know you're smiling right now seeing this card, is going to continue to expand, and you're going to continue to drop into full belief and like embodiment of it as you move away from those limitation and scarcity mindsets that have kept you from sharing your deepest authenticity, your intimacy, and your truth with the world. And this is the card that tells me that you all are coming online. So go outside and check out the celestial phenomena in your badass multidimensional self. So the clarifier card is amazing. It's Seer. This card does not come up very often, and I'm gonna hold it here for a while because I want you to feel the power of that. There are no eyes here. And the message for me to share with you is that we are seeing in all ways, in all realms, in all possibilities, in all timelines. We're seeing in new ways. And so because the eyes are light, we are now seeing with our light bodies. Even though we're using our eyes as one of our conduits, which every sensory system in our body is a conduit. And the more that you take in those messages, like absorb those messages, I want to say, instead of like filter them through your eyesight, you absorb them, the more they grow in power within you. like, and they kind of explode out of you because we need your medicine. So big stuff right here. I feel like this is very Sagittarius. And it's also about being the student, like the curious student in your travels. And just the way that we're seeing in new ways, we're traveling in new ways. And this doesn't mean it has to be physical travel. This is energy travel, astral travel, cosmic travel, soul travel, mind travel, physical travel. All of the traveling is like you being a student of life with that curiosity of what you don't know yet, because we only know a tiny, tiny bit. And it's been limited by the narrative that has surrounded it. So we're breaking that box wide open. And these are powerful cards. I'm loving, this is the feeling I'm getting from the Sagittarius Supermoon. I'm feeling this really beautiful energy moving us towards the galactic upgrade activation of the summer solstice portal. I want to just quickly pick an animal card. I felt drawn to picking an animal card today. And if you listen to my podcast later, you'll find out why. There is going to be a podcast dropping, so stay tuned. It's going to be a lot about some messages that came through in the retreat. And the card is Frog, which is feminine energy and creation. So it's really, feminine energy is really receptivity and intuition and almost like stillness, so that you're in a place of receiving for the integration of what's coming in before it becomes known, before it becomes external. So as you're taking in these messages, you know, it's in between the two that you're really evolving into who it is that you came in as. It's like you're de-evolving, but evolving back into the innate truth, like the star form, the spirit that you came in as. It's like, oh, I just got the image that you're a star. Really beautiful. Like you're evolving your star in the ways that you're going to shine it. So I know this message is getting a little long, and believe me, after that experience that we all had together, in the Awakening Astrology Retreat, I have so much to share. So stay tuned. I am going to have a free summer solstice galactic upgrade activation event June 21st. So check out around here, wherever it is, link below, link above, link in my bio to sign up and come hang with me for an hour on June 21st, so that we can continue to elevate the consciousness through our intentional and deliberate connection in these divine spaces that we are all creating and expanding at this time in history. Like we are creating the history. We're creating galactic history as humans, and it's just so exciting. Yeah. Also, I have a very advanced retreat coming up in Todos Santos, Mexico, at the Tropic of Cancer. And it is like, I'm telling you, this is going to be the stuff of stars, like the stuff of intelligent life, the stuff of the cosmos. Like we are going to be going through deep, deep transformation on such a cellular activation and galactic level. It is very intentionally curated, 6 days, 5 nights. I'm making it such a beautiful unfolding journey for you and for all of us, because we're going there, believe me. Check out the details. You can find that link around here too. Again, sending you love. This is such an exciting time. Share with me in the comments how you're feeling at this Sagittarius Supermoon. Thanks for hanging if you're still here for the whole video. I appreciate you, your energy, and being in this beautiful new Earth awakening and human ride with you. Human infinite light body ride with you, I should say. Peace and love, y'all. Mwah.